How's everybody doing tonight? Gonna have a fun Friday here. Welcome. Thanks for spending some time here. I'm trying to make sure we got everything going. Danielle's here. Who else is here? Shane, of course, is here. And let's see, Zach, Diamonds and Henna. Miami folks. There you Slidey Pie's here. Thank you. So yes, so welcome. And I've got a lot of stuff to tell you about today. I've been like, ever since I quit streaming, I'm streaming a lot more, right? Yeah, it's funny. Freedom Ring, hello. Let's make sure everybody gets notice. Oh, got some stuff on my hand. So I wanted to, everybody's saying we need to do another music stream because I love music and I can talk about music all day. But there's other stuff kind of in the headlines that I thought I'd let you know about. There's things I can't really talk. Oh, just listening now to Pat Metheny, jazzy, I would say, oh yeah, for sure. Karen, Legal Minded Friends, Karen Cole. Absolutely. It's my favorite jazz band. First Last, good to see you. Lily. Yeah, no, it's definitely jazz. So it's not exactly the most popular element, but I will say that the Pat Metheny Group is probably one of the top jazz bands of all time. And yeah, Jackson did invite you, although he's over the other, he's had his dinner, so he's asleep in the thing. If given sufficient bribery, I could abduct him and bring him in. but in the meantime, it'll just be us chickens. So I got a lot to show you and talk about with Pat Metheny Group. And it's Pat Metheny Group. Let's first of all, it's not Pat Metheny individually because he's got a ton of records. We're going to talk about that too. But I'm going to focus primarily on, yes. Okay, so Zach knows already. I'm going to focus primarily on the Pat Metheny Group, which does not involve Jaco. Jaco Pastorius is considered by many as the greatest bass player to have ever lived. And he was on the first Pat Metheny album, as well as playing with Joni Mitchell. But that was not the Pat Metheny Group. All right, but I wanted to kind of just, because you guys are early. And by the way, thank you for coming. I know it's Friday night, but we're partying tonight. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a little fun tonight. Oh, stream just refreshed me, so I'm a couple minutes late. Anna, okay. Well, Anna Rumphrey, good to see you. So you know what? I want to test out because in my let me see, my supporters and stuff have their own little. Don't you, if you're like a member in YouTube, you get a little logo or something? I put some logos up. I was thinking what I need is I need to get a Brucey logo, or like maybe, I don't know. I'm working. I will say I've got Jackson is on the way. I'm working on getting Jackson. Let me put this down a little bit like that, maybe. I'm working on getting Jackson. It's called character development. I went ahead and sprung for that, even though it's kind of out of pocket. I went ahead and developed that because I want to take a look and see what Jackson's going to look like, my difficult dog, in cartoon form by the same artist that did Brucey. Everybody loves Brucey, by the way. I'm so happy. I had, I guess I can tell you who it was. It was Farmhand Tom. Does everyone remember Farmhand Tom? My buddy from kind of a while back. And listen to what he wrote me. It's very nice. He says, the Brucey the One-Eyed Wonder Dog has been a hit. From the first night I read it to my youngest boys, they've insisted that I read it every night since. So it's become our nightly ritual. It's a beautiful book with a powerful message. Well done. Isn't that sweet? Lord of the Ree is here. Good to have you. So first thing I want to show you. Now, you guys know of me, right? And you know that there's things I can talk about, which is almost everything. And then there's things I can't talk about. All right. But I'm just going to give you a couple little tidbits here. All right. And I will just leave it at that. First of all, I want to, let's see, let me do this one first. Let's do this first. Okay. You all paying attention? Okay. I can't comment too much on these things. Where's my StreamYard? No, that's not it. Now I've got so many windows open that I can't figure out which one's which. Okay. StreamYard. There it is. Okay, ready? For first thing I want to share with you is, you all know this, right? You see this? Tell me if you can. Tell me in the chat if you can see. There it is. Okay, yeah, you can see it. All right, so we've got ideas and answers in law, right? And we've got all my books here available at stevegosney.com. Prepare, Ideas and Laws, Brucey, Death Penalty Debates, Summer Friend, the hardcover Prepare, the Brucey coloring book, and the hardcover Ideas and Answers. I only got a few more of those left, so if you want that, those are pricey, but there are only a few left. Then we got the dramatic reading, right? You probably recognize this. Got Nick Rekieta reading the foreword to Prepare. We got this here. Look at this. What's this? Who is reading Steve Gosney? Maybe it's super lawyer Jose Baez. Look at that. It's Jose Baez with my Death Penalty Debates and Ideas and Answers in Law. Isn't that cool? So that's the first thing. What do you think about that? Is that cool? Let me close out some of these. All right, that's one thing. Let me show you another little thing. I'm just going to show you this, all right? No commentary. Okay, we'll just skip on over. So that's going on. I will say that I'm very happy with. Oh, and I guess I should do that one more thing. If you want to support my difficult, we'll get into this and stuff. Present. This stuff is tricky. All right, share. Okay, so if you see there's stevegosney.com. If you go over here to contact page, the friends page, we've got a new sponsor, Bob Fritzy School of Real Estate. If you want your Florida real estate license online, there it is right there, or in class in Daytona. And then also there's Jackson, that's Jackson, my difficult dog. So if you click here, that gives you the Give, Send, Go campaign. And you can actually read the text, the entire text of Jackson, along with the biblical citations. And here we got Karen Cole is in the audience, right? So you can double check my biblical citations. But these are every little scene from Jackson is from a biblical story. So I think it's a little doggy story with a biblical message. We'll do that some other time once I get into once we start really promoting it. Once I get some stuff, there's a few things I need to get. All right, so let's talk Pat Metheny Group. Pat Metheny Group. Pat Metheny is from Missouri originally. He's a jazz guy, and I think his brother is a trumpeter. But he decided he would go to University of Miami in Miami, Florida, to study jazz. When he got to University of Miami, he was so good that they made him a professor. They made him a professor of jazz, like in his freshman year. All right. And there was a real musical scene going on down in Miami. And he hooked up and he did an album. And I'll show you the album. And it's called Bright Size Life. Bright Size Life. And on this album, it's Bob Moses on drums, Pat Metheny, and Jaco Pastorius. So this album is phenomenal. Now, this is not the Pat Metheny Group. This is Pat Metheny, but very well worth it. And Bright Size Life, the opening chords on this are really groundbreaking for jazz, because jazz was going in a direction, and Pat Metheny has his own voice, his own thought. And to think about he did this album when he was so young with that kind of phenomenal group is something. So he really made a splash with that album. He also, I'm going to skip ahead, and I'm just a fanboy. I'm not so much, I can't really say that I'm a super, you can get way into these bands. And so I'm sure we're going to have some people in here that are like, no, that's wrong, Gosney, right? But let's just go with, He then plays with Joni Mitchell, Shadows and Light. This is a DVD of their concert, Shadows and Light. And in this, there is Pat Metheny guitar, Jaco Pastorius on bass, Don Elias drums, and Lyle Mays on keyboards, and Michael Brecker on sax, who's another phenomenal, just an incredible. Now, I kind of say I really don't like Joni Mitchell. Sorry, kill me now. I know all the musicians. I have Shadows and Light, one of your favorite ever. I'm not a big Joni Mitchell fan, but this was the foundation of the Pat Metheny Group. And Lyle Mays, I know, Red. Okay, I'm sorry. I know you're gonna kill me. I just never could get into. I've tried. I've really tried. I'm a Pat Metheny fan, so apologize for that. There's no accounting for taste. I've tried to listen to it, but this is Joni Mitchell's Shadows and Light. This is a great little concert. You can see things from this. But Jaco Pastorius, Pat Metheny, and Lyle Mays. Okay, I'll shut up. Well, it's you can whatever. Lyle Mays is the keyboard player who is phenomenal. I will say that I love when Pat Metheny with Lyle Mays is the combination that you want. That is, those two together are just incredible, incredible. So put that aside. I've got to put these aside as I go through them because I've got a pile here. So let's talk about the Pat Metheny Group. This is the first Pat Metheny Group album. And that consisted of Lyle Mays, Pat Metheny, Mark Egan, who is a fretless bass player, and Danny Gottlieb. So this is the original Pat Metheny Group. Here they are right there. Okay, see them? San Lorenzo, Phase Dance, Jaco. I mean, this begins when I think the Pat Metheny Group is just one of the greatest jazz bands of all time. I mean, it's my favorite. Highly recommend this. Now, I'm going to say this was sort of the original incarnation of the Pat Metheny Group, was these four. And they stayed together for a while, and it was that foundational four: Pat Metheny, Lyle Mays, keyboards, Mark Egan on bass, and Danny Gottlieb. There's the first few albums, I think it's 4 or 5 albums, were that lineup. Now I've got another little share here. There's stories that I can share along the way, and it's my stream, and I'll share them. I'm a fanboy, okay, and let people know I'm a Tony Franklin fanboy. There's a few people that I'm a fanboy of. The first is that Pat Metheny, when I was in high school, in a band in high school, just a real short-lived band. It hardly went. It didn't do anything at all. We never played. It was just a bunch of guys getting together playing guitars. And the guitar player for this band was a big Pat Metheny fan. His sister, his older sister, dated Pat Metheny. He lived in New Smyrna Beach. Now, I will say that what would happen is when Pat Metheny would come down, he would send his limo. He'd send his limo to pick her up, and they'd of course, when that was, I guess, his girlfriend when he was in town. I don't know the whole thing, but the guitar player was a big Pat Metheny fan. So there's one step away from Pat Metheny himself. Also, I want to tell you that Danny Gottlieb, phenomenal. These are just world-class musicians. I'm a big fanboy of Pat Metheny and Danny Gottlieb. I'm like, man, he was on those original Pat Metheny Group albums. All right. I don't want to spoil all my surprises, but let's take a look at something here. Let's see if I got it. Cancel. How do I share that? Present. If I can, how do I share that? Darn it. Not sure. Yeah, okay, here we go. Watch this. See there? So that's my son when he went to jazz camp up in University of North Florida, and he had to hang with Dan Gottlieb. Danny Gottlieb is now he flies into University of North Florida to teach jazz. And so this is when he got to meet, and he sent me this because he knew that I was a fanboy and I would love this, and I did. So that's my son at University of North Florida with Danny Gottlieb, the original drummer for the Pat Metheny Group. It's pretty cool, isn't it? So there's my next story. Okay, I'm sticking with it. Okay, I got so many CDs here. The next one, and these are, every one of these are world class. And after I'm just going to go through them in order, and then I'll give it a whack at ranking, and maybe as a new, if you haven't heard Pat Metheny Group, I'll let you, kind of let you in there. But the next one was called Pat Metheny Group American Garage. And there they are, Pat Metheny, Lyle Mays, Mark Egan, Danny Gottlieb, sitting around in their garage. I love Airstream. But this song right here, the epic, 12 minutes, 59 seconds, very epic tune. That to me was the first one where it kind of showed them where the direction of the band was going. That was just an epic jazz masterpiece of kind of a very stamp. So if you want to hear their earliest, what I would say kind of their thumbprint song, the epic off of American Garage would be a good place to kind of start. All right. And then now going back to, I can say Gottlieb, but not Liebgott, right? Funny. The next album is one now. See, I'm more of a rock guy, right? But I liked Pat Metheny Group when I was a kid. And this is the album that there's a few couple here, but this is the one that I just couldn't get enough of when I was a kid. And it's a little more rocky. And it's the next album called Off Ramp. Now, this is the first album where, they just kick it here. And this is, notice you have a change of bass players here. Steve Rodby is the new bass player. And then they add a percussionist too. See there? Nana, voice. And this song, Are You Going With Me? So great. That is one of his all-time great songs. Epic kind of masterpiece, almost Stairway to Heaven type jazzer, because it starts very slow, it builds way up. So this is an album that I used to just burn out when I was a kid. I could never play. Now, I don't take any ability. I can't play any of this stuff. This is all so advanced and so far above my head. But I'm going to try to show you just a little tease of Off Ramp, Are You Going With Me, just to give you a feel. Now, he would play, and I'm going to do it, see if I can keep it from getting demonetized. So it'll be such a short clip. But what I want to tell you is this album is where he got into the synthesizer guitar. And he had a couple sounds that he would play, really just like one sound. It's like this horn trumpet kind of sound that he plays on the electric synthesizer guitar. And Kevin Clark, thank you very much for the super chat. Was that a super chat? Yes. First concert I ever attended was Pat Metheny Group when I was 7 with my dad. Oh, so cool. Eventually ended up as a jazz guitarist for work. Really? Love your work and perspective on stream. So I wanted to say thank you. Well, thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I just love music, and we need more listeners, right? There's a lot of great players, but you got to salute the masters. My son says that watching Dan Gottlieb at UNF, because they had a little private concert, you could just tell who the greats were. Oh, Crow Minion, right. That's right. This is not America. People might know that song. So I'll just say this goes, and it is Friday night, so drinks are available. So if we hit $100, I'll drink the sidecar. Yeah, that's right. How did the jazz guitars afford a $10 super chat? Funny. All right. So we're going to take just a little sneak peek at Pat Metheny Group with I want to show you kind of the instrument that he plays, and you'll hear it. Now, hopefully this will work. I'm going to present. Let's see. Are you going with me? This is just a little. Yes. See if this works here. Can we see that? Are you going? Now, this is 1989. Let's see if we can hear it. Ready? I don't want to go too far here, because otherwise we'll get I'll tell you what, Fast Group, if you hold on or super chat it, then I have to answer it, or you can wait until the end and ask me some questions at the end. I'll try to remember. So that's Pat Metheny in 89. Are You Going With Me? And I've linked a lot of these, or all of these videos that I'm going to be showing you. I've linked the full video in the description here so that you can go and watch the full thing. So I'm trying to give a little taste there, but see him playing, that's him playing the see, that's cool. I can't go too far. I don't want to lose monetization here. Okay, so a little taste of Pat Metheny, and we'll do a few more little tastes, right? Yeah, the Roland synth guitar. I remember when those came out. I was back in the day. Zach, thanks for joining us. Zach's a new member. You can join my membership thingy. I don't know. That's like, I don't know what it does, but thank you very much. I guess you'll get noticed. You should join because you get noticed, right? I've made it as little as I can possibly make it. All right, so Off Ramp. That's off of Off Ramp. That's Are You Going With Me? And I've linked that in below. Great. And when I was a kid, this is just so good. And there was another album that I used to just play into the ground because I loved Off Ramp, and this came around the same time, and this was on the tour of Off Ramp. That's the live album called Travels. And again, who's on Travels? Same band, right? Let's see here. Pat Metheny, Lyle Mays, Steve Rodby, who's the bass player really through the whole group after Egan left. Danny Gottlieb, who I showed you, and then the same percussionist, right? This is phenomenal live album. And I will say that this version here, there's As Falls Wichita, So Falls Wichita Falls right there. That is not a Pat Metheny Group song, actually. Oh, Diamond and Henna. Oh, so all right, we're $20. So the sidecar is in play. we're $20 in. So $80 more and we'll do it. Thank you very much. And 25. Jeez, let's go. Brandon's here. I guess he's going to be a matcher. He wants me to drink. We're having fun. It's Friday night. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Did you see the earlier part? Did you catch the beginning, the little sneak? If not, you need to go back and see some of the latest happenings. If not, I'll even show it just for you because you're a good guy and you're a big supporter. I will show you again because I'm very happy and excited about what's going on in the world out there. So this is the Pat Metheny Lyle Mays album, As Falls Wichita, So Falls Wichita Falls. All right, so wait, so we're gonna have to keep track of this. Thank you. To the Walls? What does that mean? Thank you. So we're $30. Okay, so we have 70 more and we're gonna be drinking. You lived in Wichita Falls. Have you ever heard of this album? I love this. And there's something so odd. This here, it's not a Pat Metheny Group album. This is a Pat Metheny Lyle Mays album. But that first track, there's these strange numbers in the middle of it. It's like this epic 20-minute track. And right in the middle, there's this real kind of thing. And they're like 22, 41, like these weird numbers. Danielle, you're not a new member. You're not. So highly recommended. But this is a great version, but this doesn't count. I'm just cheating. All right. The Pat Metheny Travels live album is also phenomenal, has all their great stuff. I will say one of the really cool things about Pat Metheny Group, and it's mostly instrumental, but he will sing with his guitar. Lord of the Rings, we're getting there. You're jumping ahead. He sings with his guitar, and I'll tell you, he is such a phenomenal musician. He can shred. He's a jazz shredder, but he also sings. And I think that is the next level. When he plays, he is visualizing the notes that he's playing before he's playing them. You can hear it. And in fact, amazing going to these Pat Metheny concerts. When you go and see him, the crowd will sing the guitar lines, playing with fire. Well, you got to tell me what does this mean now? To the Walls. What does that mean? Diamonds and Henna. I guess I better keep track of this because I don't want to cheap you. So let's see. We've got. So if this is actually in play here, 9, 10. I don't know where we're at. I think we're at 40. I think we're at 40. Yeah, Frampton in the talk box, right? What are you here to cause trouble, Brandon? Playing with fire, Steve. Funny. Yeah, the AD is hitting Steve here. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be organized. Pat Metheny Group. So the band, the people will sing the guitar lines as they go. Yeah, and he'll play 3 hours. The next album is called First Circle. First Circle. Now, if you'll notice, there's a new drummer, Paul Wertico. Paul Wertico. And then Pedro Anzar. So you got Pat Metheny, Lyle Mays, who are the two, I'd say the two primaries that you want to look for. Steve Rodby, the bass player, who's a really solid bass player, replaced Egan. And then Pedro Aznar, and Paul Wertico, who became kind of a lot of people know him as the drummer, but Gottlieb was the original drummer for many albums. I will say that Dan Gottlieb went off with Mark Egan, the original bass player, and formed a band called, I think, The Elements. And so if you are interested, if you like that early Pat Metheny group, check out Gottlieb and Egan in Elements. So let's see. The next, and this is down Lord of the Rings. You guys might know this one. Have you ever heard of the song, the Falcon and the Snowman? So they did the soundtrack for this. So this is the Pat Metheny Group does Falcon and the Snowman. A lot of these. And here is This Is Not America with David Bowie and Pat Metheny Group. Pat Metheny Group. All right. Yeah. All right, Brandon. I hear you. All right. Well, all right. That puts us into the next round. I don't know. Maybe I see. Am I selling myself too cheap, Brandon? You got to tell me if I am, because you're a good man. If you become a member, Steve will come to your house and drink his sidecar with you. No, Brandon will come to your house and drink it. Oh, by the way, your name, your moniker, Let's Go Brandon, was fully confirmed, wouldn't you say, by the report of the Inspector General? I'm all over the place tonight, but it's fun. We're having Friday night. Okay, and all right, hold on. Before we get to this next album, let me just hold on. Let me just, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get assistance. Hold on one second. All right, sidecar coming up for you. Yeah, he did that. So, yeah, I'm scattered. I mean, I can say there's so much going on in my life. But you just saw, were you here earlier, Brandon, when we went over? I'll just sneak a peek one more time. I think this is so cool. Yeah, so check this out, Brandon. Well, that's not your name, but you know who you are. Check this out. Okay, so we share this, right? Look, we scroll down. Look here. Guess who is reading Steve Gosney? Maybe super lawyer Jose Baez. How about that? Hey, Matt Self, good to see you, man. You've been a while. You've been out for a while. Good to see you. Matt Self is here. Boy, all my friends are here. Isn't this nice? Isn't this a nice Friday night to hang out? All right, I'll put you that. So that's 20. Good to see you too. Thank you. And we're having fun tonight. So very good news on the legal front, wouldn't you say? Got some stuff going on. All right. Here we got just for you. Cheers to you. Ooh, that's heavy sugar rim. Look at that. Yeah, so we're I better not say it out loud. Let's just keep plunging ahead. Falcon and the Snowman, David Bowie, This Is Not America. I can't say that I play this a whole lot, but we'll get into rankings at the end once we get through these, all right? I know, yes, Danielle, you're keeping track. Okay, Danielle, you keep track, because if there are problems here, I need you to keep track. We'll talk law after the fun of the music. Maybe. We'll see who wants what, all right? Now, this is the next album that was a life changer for me. Yeah. Oh, well, let's go, Brandon. There's more to it than that. Okay, yes, the bias part. Isn't that cool? So he's got my books. Let's say I spent several hours with him on a particular case that you may be familiar with. Right? You understand what I'm saying there, Brandon? Just confirm that you do, because I don't need. Let's see here. Yeah, here's another one. Yes, 40. Okay. Hold on a second. Oh, Matt. All right. First things first. You guys are getting me. I'm all over the place. This is going to be the worst stream, but we're having fun. This is a fun stream. All right. This is not. So check it out. Okay. Ready, Brandon? This is for you because you missed out on the early part. So you check it out. I'm just gonna show you this. See that? Arroyo Law Firm. That's my buddy Phil. You got that? Okay, Brandon, you got it? All right. So do we need to say anything more? You can read. I can't talk about anything like that, but let's just say that God's knees at work at all times. I've been maneuvering and chomping at the bit to tell people about this, but I'm very excited and I'm very happy. And the plan is in the master. Ghazi's a master planner. All right. So now Matt wants me to, he's joining forces with Brandon here, I guess. So he put me over the top. So I guess I owe you a second sidecar. But now I will say, see, this is the problem. See, that's a double. Look at that thing. Sugar. I love the sugar. That's actually like, it's not quite honey. It's like this. It's like a honey butter. Really good. All right. Yeah, it gets a treat. When does Jackson get a treat? Okay, see, this is a good question right here. I should abduct Jackson. Yeah. I don't know. I'm only on the first one, so let's talk about that. At the end, okay, save this for the end. I'm going to star that one, and we'll come back, okay? So legal questions I'll star, but we're talking Pat Metheny Group. And this album was a life changer for me, because to me, the next step up for the Pat Metheny Group was this group, Still Life Talking. Now, if I was going to recommend one album by Pat Metheny Group for you to get, it's Still Life Talking. This is such a great album. Now, this has 6/8 Minuoto. That is a great song. So May It Secretly Be. Last Train Home. There's the song. Now, a lot of people remember that. That was a Publix theme. And we're going to listen to just a little bit. It's Just Talk. Third Wind, another one that they a staple of the thing. Distance and Inner Family. This album is so coherent. It's so great. I've put well, wait a second. Raise your prices, don't blame the customers or bartender. Well, I don't know. We'll talk. Maybe we should say okay, I'll raise my 200 for sidecar 3, because we're at 200 right now and I owe you 2 sidecars. So if we're going to be doing this, I got to, because that's ridiculous. Last time you knocked me out on, what was it, 6 or 7? So and we're not really, that's not what the purpose of this is. We're going to go through. But anyway, Still Life Talking, great. I want to show you a Still Life Talking song. First of all, watch this. Okay, you want to see a shredder. Okay, this is what you call a jazz shredder. Okay, we're going to try to do this very tight, all right? No, okay, this is what I'm talking about when you talk about singing along. People will sing to these guitar lines and listen to this. I mean, I want to sing to it, so maybe I will. But or a sidecar in, so let's do it. Hear that? So there's like that sort of thing will, why is it depressing? Don't say that. It's fun. This is great. It's depressing because we're all weak when it compares. So people sing this live. On their live albums, they'll sing right along with it. He will also have a vocalist that will sing behind him, and you will hear. Make sure I don't close the wrong thing. So that's 6/8. Now this is Last Train Home. Now if you've actually heard, have you heard? If you've actually heard a Pat Metheny song, it might be this one. Ready? Have you ever heard that? Have you heard that one? It's not very much, but like name that tune. Okay, so Kevin, you are the man. I love music. Oops, this one here. No, wait. Have you heard live solo? Okay, so I want to show you what kind of shredder this guy is, because he's not only, it's very musical and it's very jazz, it's very beautiful, it's wonderful atmospherics, interesting orchestrations, but wait a second, no, where'd it go? Depressing. He's depressing about the desecration of a live music stream. The hair, I know, it's great. Where was that? Darn it. Somebody, maybe they deleted that comment, but somebody said they want to see him shred. All right, watch this. This is Pat Metheny showing you what kind of guy he is. All right, this is amazing. I'm just going to give you a little shred here. He is just amazing. What's this? Let's drink some cigars and play music, and Steve can decide if he wants to make 500 edits or let it run. That's right. You have the power to demonetize the stream, not willingly, just because I'll be losing it, right? All right, so I got to drink this now. Yeah, have you heard? So that also is now this is the companion album right here. So Still Life Talking, and then this one called Letter from Home. And that's Have You Heard, which is what he's talking about. Whoops. There we go. Have you heard? Get that. Why doesn't that focus right? Come on, focus. There it is. Have you heard? Everything Better Days Ahead. Another wonderful album. These two, to me, are my two favorite albums. I think this is them at their peak. Oh my goodness. Cro-Magnon saw Tangerine Dream. Well, I've got another stream on Tangerine Dream coming sometime in the future. I wanted to do Pat Metheny Group. So these two, if you love this album, I'm going to recommend this as number one. If you love this like I do, get this as number two. If you're more of a rocker, go for these two. All right, getting ahead of ourselves. So we got that. I got to drink some more. I'm sorry, I'm not keeping up. Cheers. Thank you. Okay, so you saw them live 86 and I do. I've seen them. I'm not really sure how many times I've seen the group. I think it's 3 times. I've seen Pat Metheny more than that. I've seen him not with the group. But the first was in Melbourne, Florida. Maybe I've seen him twice. seem to think it's 3 times, but I saw them in Melbourne, and they were just perfection. You just can't even you can't even understand how they can be that good and crystal clear and pure and right on. But I will say that was a great show. But the second time I saw him, oh my goodness, it was on the Letter from Home tour. Oh, and it was in. Okay, so here's Melbourne. Actually, look at that. I got the ticket on the next live album here. So I saw them in Melbourne, February 6th. What's that? 1995 in Melbourne. So we're there. But I saw them on the Letter from Home tour in Seattle. And it was on and they played just as the sun was going on down. And it was just perfection. I'll tell you, amazing, amazing. Yeah, so you know about the orchestration tour. Well, I'm giving you some recommendations. That's a good sidecar. I must say that's pretty good. That's tasty. Sometimes I get it the balance a little off. Tangerine Dream in 86. Oh my goodness, I'd love to have seen that. Okay, so then we've got this live album, and this is another, I'd say, very kind of hard rock album. There's some stuff. This song here called Half-Life of Absolution is epic, kind of heavy stuff. Kind of a rock influence, but this is a wonderful live album. I mean, everything. This is just, they are just hitting on all cylinders. So that would be, now there's a few more albums here. Now this is where all you guys are going to pound on me, because that to me is the core Pat Metheny. Now there was 4 more albums that he did. There's We Live Here, right? Quartet. And here you've got it down to the 4 again. Pat Metheny, Lyle Mays, Steve Rodby, and Paul Wertico, who's the drummer. And then you have Imaginary Day. Actually, there's 5. Okay, now the Pat Metheny Group, Speaking of Now. And here you have a little different lineup here. Now you have Rodby, Mays, Metheny, Richard Bona, Chung Vu, and Antonio Sanchez on drums. So that's that. And there's one more album, and it's called This Way Up, which I know I have somewhere, but I have about 3,500 CDs, and they're all packed away in the closet over here in The Way Up, right? It's hard for me I couldn't put my hands on it. It's not in the right place. And for me to figure out where it is in the closet, hard to say. All right. So now there's also DVDs. Pat Metheny Group, Speaking of Now Live. That goes with the Speaking of Now CD. Whoops. One sidecar, you already got me. All right. Pat Metheny Group, We Live Here, live in Japan. Boy, that's good. Here's The Way Up Live. This was their last Pat Metheny Group album. And Imaginary Day Live. So there's a lot of live stuff at the end. Now there is one concert, and it's called More Travels. And More Travels should be, let me show you what the problem is here. Okay, you want to see the problem? I'm going to show you the problem with this. I'm very upset about this, because as you see, I collect physical copies. I collect DVDs, and I collect of live concerts. See if I can find it here. Well, it's not even listed anymore. You can't get this concert on DVD. There are clips. I have it on VHS cassette, and I can't find it. That's really good. Now let me see. Got that. I'm going to throw in one more little Pat Metheny Group thing, and then we'll go over to Pat Metheny. I want to tell you some stuff about it. Pat Metheny Group in concert. Look at this one. This isn't even listed on their discography. You ever seen this? How about that? That's pretty cool, isn't it? That's a little rarity. People don't know if you saw. Okay, so now, see now, Red, you are a fan. I know it. I see that. So let's talk about some other Pat Metheny Group stuff. Okay, there's watercolors. That's just Pat Metheny. Now, interesting. It's Pat Metheny, Lyle Mays, Dan Gottlieb, not Egan. This album, I consider this a Pat Metheny Group album, and it's excellent. All right. But it's not officially a Pat Metheny Group. It's officially Pat Metheny. See there? Here's another one that a lot of people consider a Pat Metheny Group album. It's called Secret Story. But I kind of put this with the later stuff. And but it's officially a Pat Metheny album. Now here's a really obscure one for you, okay? Because people are going to be watching this. If you're like some Pat Metheny super fans, I made this too big. Brandon. Brandon. Okay. This is very unusual. Pat Metheny, Dave Brooke, B.B. King. You ever seen this? This is really out there. Look at this. Import. More to the Groove by Pat Metheny. That is one of the greatest Pat Metheny things. And I will say these B.B. King songs are great. The Sound of Jazz. B.B. King, never thought B.B. King was a jazzer. But this is cool. And another one that I had when I was a kid on record, but now I have it on DVD. Very hard to find. This is very obscure. Okay, now I'm going to warn you. Here's an album. That I will absolutely not recommend. Okay, now chat, especially you, Red. You think you know your Pat Metheny. What album should nobody on God's green earth ever buy by Pat Metheny? Let me see if I can work on this and I'll get a little extra. I got a refill. I owe you one. Okay, let me see. Kevin got it. Kevin Clark, you got it. It's called Zero Tolerance for Silence. See this album right here? Now look, it says, it's a new Pat Metheny, the most radical recording of the decade, a new milestone in electric guitar. Okay. This, I see red. Yeah, this one is terrible. Here's what the deal with this. He was having a little dispute with his record label, and he owed the record label one more disc. And he said, well, I don't want to give you. Why don't you let me out of my contract? And they said, no. So he saw the contract. I'm just telling you, as a lawyer, I know what happened here. He said, I'm going to give you something that is unlistenable. And he basically set his guitar up. Look, see here, it's part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. Pat Metheny guitar, one person. He sets his guitar in a corner, turns the amp up, and it feeds back. That's all this is a bunch of guitar feedback for however long the CD is to fulfill the contract. I bought it. So here I am, suckered. But this is absolutely one you should avoid. Okay. Just so you know. This is insight. And we're going to rank these at the end here. I know I paid money for it. Good money. Not all money. Look at Brandon. He's sitting there throwing hundreds down for my sidecar. And I greatly appreciate it, by the way. And I need it. I'll show you. Okay, when I go get a refill, I'll show you why I need these. Why lawyers drink. Okay. We'll talk lawyer stuff at the end. I want to talk more Pat Metheny. Here's another good one. Beyond the Missouri Sky, Charlie Hayden and Pat Metheny. Now, what he did was he's a big fan of jazz, obviously, and he's a jazz snob. So he will collaborate with just amazing, amazing musicians like Charlie Hayden. And let me give you a few more that he. John Schofield and Pat Metheny. I Can See Your House from Here. This is a very recent one. This is a very recent Pat Metheny from this place. This is just him solo. These are solos, not Pat Metheny Group. This is one of his most recent ones. What year is this? 2020. Here's another one. Look at this. See there? I got to use the book donation website for what? For 200 for the third sidecar. You want to get me drinking 3 sidecars. You like 3 sidecars, Steve? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Pat Metheny, New Chautauqua. Very good. Okay. Here's another one. Look at this. This is a map of the world, Pat Metheny. You guys, someone's super fans. Are you jealous? Are you jealous? Is this a cool collection or what? Look at this one here. Here's for you jazzers. Pat Metheny, Ornate Coleman. This is Song X is what it's called. Charlie Hayden, Jack DeJohnette, who's amazing, and Donardo Coleman. So these are all like jazz greats that he's playing with. Okay, now I've got a few more here, but let me give you another little story interlude since we're all big fans. Let's see, there's a lot to this story. There's a guy named Chuck Archer. Chuck Archer is a professor at Rollins College, and he plays bass. And he actually gave Stephen a bass lesson. I took him over there. Chuck Archer used to play with a fellow named Harold Blanchard. Harold Blanchard is a world-class musician. Passed away when my son was young. He was my son's piano teacher. He taught jazz improvisation at Stetson University for 20 some years. And a world-class musician. And people would come and play with him. And Chuck Archer would come and play with him. He's played, he wrote songs for, let me see, Nathan Page, Herbie Hancock. Let me see, who else? A lot of great jazzers respected him, but he was phenomenal. But he was a Jehovah's Witness, so he wouldn't travel. He stayed right here in this community. And people don't know about him, but great piano player. So Chuck Archer was this guy, and he's now a Rollins professor and has played. And he said when Pat Metheny came to play with him, here's a little inside story, that Pat would not, first of all, you couldn't videotape him, and he would not play with anybody. He wouldn't play with anybody because, and here's why, because he is so great. People want to knock him down, right? Well, what if he just plays with anybody and somebody has their little cell phone up and they record Pat Metheny playing with somebody who's a really bad bass player or bad drummer and it screws it up and it sounds terrible? Then all over the internet is, look at Pat Metheny playing and he sounds terrible because of these people around him, right? So he's very cautious and very careful about who he plays with. How about that? That's kind of interesting little insight, isn't it? Okay, Brandon. So you're gonna do 200? How about 200 for sidecar 3? I owe you 1, but I'll make that deal with you tonight only. It's a tonight only deal. All right, let me see. I'm gonna give a little sidecar. Thank you very much, by the way. I appreciate it. You don't have to do anything. I'm just saying, making deals. I got more over here, and we're gonna talk some law and whatever else you guys want to talk about. In fact, I probably need to get it right now. Hold on just 1 second and we'll continue. All right. I owe you all some drinking here. Hold on. I want to show you something, Brandon, because since you're a professional drinker, I want to show you. See, what you do is you mix up your sidecar in a jar like that. There's no way that would kill me, but you mix it up, pre-mix it, so that way you can just pour it away, right? So it's real quick and easy. So you pre-mix it, and then it just sits there, and it doesn't go bad. So highly recommended. So there's sidecar 2. 2. All right, let's just continue on. Some more Pat Metheny only. This one's interesting. Christian McBride and Antonio Sanchez day trip. Oh, I was going to get you something else. All right. Well, what is this? Okay. Brandon's got a whole there's a whole different story. There's Gosney and his music stream, and then there's the Brandon negotiations. My point was I could send you 2 of you in this phone, and you could get less than if I were to get up and log on to. Yeah, I got you. I got it. Make the effort. I got it. So what's your point? You're a Tom since when am I professional? Yeah, guilt by association. Yes, that's right. Or you just like to see people getting punished with their alcohol. Lawyers need their alcohol. I'm going to show you why. If we do sidecar 3, I will show you why. I'll show you what I've been doing and why Gosney drinks. All right. So this is really good. Christian McBride, Antonio Sanchez. I'm a little confused, Brandon, but you figure it out. Talk amongst yourselves. Here's another one. Pat Metheny, Dave Holland. Holy cow. Dave Holland, a monster. Roy Haynes. This is really, this is basically Pat Metheny collaborating with people. Here's another one. Pat Metheny Trio, 99-00, Larry Grenadier and Bill Stewart. These are pretty obscure things. Are you Pat Metheny fans out here? Are you jealous yet that I'm finding these obscure ones? That's a great one. Kevin knows. Here's another one. Yes, it's question and answer. You ask your questions. You can we're all fans here. We're just talking music on a Friday night, having fun. Isn't it beautiful? Music is perfect and beautiful. I love music. Burton Korea, Chick Korea. And also my buddy who played with Chick Corea also, Pat Metheny, Haynes, and Holland. Great stuff. These are all superstar jazz players. And then what is this? I don't know if I'm getting what you're saying. I don't think we're connecting here. All I'm doing is drinking, and you're just shooting out stuff. I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay, so this is Gary Burton reunion. Pat Metheny, Will Lee. Will Lee, you might know, the bass player from David Letterman show. Peter Erskine, Mitch Foreman, Pat Metheny, Gary Burton. That Gary Burton is one of Pat Metheny's favorite players, so he always looked up to him. So those are some. Boy, see, now it's all disorganized. I'm going to show you some. So here's some videos with Pat Metheny Group. Jack DeJohnette, Pat Metheny, Herbie Hancock, Dave Holland. Dave Holland is such a monster on bass. I'm a bass player, and all these guys are monsters. These guys are so good. I was actually watching this today. Really good stuff. Pat Metheny's Secret Story live. See, I got all of this stuff. I mean, I'm a super fan. I know I've got this the way up somewhere, but not here. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is drink and rank. All right. That's our next step in the show. We're just hanging out, having fun, enjoying music, enjoying love, the beautiful chat, and the replay crew. If any replay crews, Victor Wooten, of course I'm a Victor Wooten fan. But these guys are all way beyond any of my playing ability. I mean, I'm a rock guy. These jazzers are so good. So we're just sharing. I know Red here is a fan. We got some good fans. Kevin's a fan. And people are going to be replaying this and who are big Pat Metheny fans and saying, my God, you missed this. Probably. But it's blame it on Brandon. So let me rank some of these as far as let's see. Oh gosh, how can I not? I'm going to put these over here because I include them in. We're going to try some rankings. All right. I've been watching Bella Fleck lately. You know, he's married to also a banjo player. Okay, let's see. Yeah. All right. You know what? Do I have them? Is there mods in here? Who's our mods that are red? Or last time I got here, I almost got in trouble. I had to make the damn stream private because of Brandon's doings. But oh, thank you very much, Brandon. I will check that. But I thought the deal was 200. What is this? We're talking because everybody else, they're selling themselves they're selling themselves cheaply. Okay, Kevin, you guys are super fans. Oh, Brandon's a mod? Okay, so he could silence himself. Well, thank you. I did receive the donation. We'll talk. Let's talk. We'll see. We'll let the chat vote. What was the deal, chat? Wasn't it 200? Okay, but I'm going to we're going to talk. We're going to do some rankings here. And Brandon, you need to get some culture, so you pay attention because this is for you. I think these two are the best two Pat Metheny albums. These are kind of the core. I'd recommend starting with Still Life Talking and Letter from Home second. But these are kind of equal. This is a little more upbeat, a little more Latin. This is a little more atmospheric, but they're very closely connected. So I think these two records are must-haves. I would also say that these two albums are must-haves. Off Ramp and Travels, live album and Off Ramp. This is more rock, I would say, rock inspired. And this is their live album, which has so much good stuff. This album is just phenomenal. So these two, I think, are must-haves. What do you guys think? Kevin, can you argue with me? Group, are you arguing with me as far as my my choices? Those are my top four, I would say. What do you think? Chat, I'm gonna let you argue with Brandon as far as what you think is fair if we're gonna do a sidecar 3. All right, so now we're talking about, so we've got these are the must-haves, the must-have Pat Metheny albums. Now, what are we gonna throw into the mix as far as other must-haves? Boy, that's tough. I don't know. This is tough. All right, I'm gonna jump around a little bit and say the next tier. We got 4 must-haves. These are almost must-have. Almost must-haves. Okay, I think that's fair. Oof, I'm gonna throw that one in there. Okay. We're doing this on the fly. And 2 sidecars in. Almost done with this sidecar. Second sidecar. Say that, Troy. All right, the next 4, I would say, and in this order. Again, these 2 are not Pat Metheny groups. These are Pat Metheny only, but you got to go with Bright Side's Life and Pat Metheny, Lyle Mays, As Falls Wichita, So Falls Wichita Falls. Say that. As Falls Wichita, So Falls Wichita Falls, and Bright Side's Life. These 2 are all, I mean, it's hard for me to say they're not must-haves. It's hard to say that. But these 2 are great albums, and I would highly recommend you need to get these 2. Bright Side's Life is considered a groundbreaking jazz album. It's mellow. It's got Jaco Pastorius, so how can you not agree? And it's a little tough. Now, this one here is just so epic. It's so interesting and such a thoughtful. In fact, if you're we had a Tangerine Dream fan, to me, this is almost a Tangerine Dream level of meditation in this album. These 2 are great albums. Not Pat Metheny albums, but I'm including them. The other 2 that are there are these 2, Pat Metheny Watercolors which is really a Pat Metheny. Danny Gottlieb, Lyle Mays, and Pat Metheny, 3 of the 4. This is a Pat Metheny Group album. I don't care. And then Pat Metheny Group here, Airstream, American Garage. So this would be so those are my next 4 must-haves. I mean, you got to have these, but if you gotta buy them in order, and you got to listen to them in order. So those are my 8. All right. So what do you think? Yeah, Crow Minion. He's been listening to Tangerine since '76. I love Tangerine. We're gonna do a stream on Tangerine Dream. You trust me on this. Jeez. Brandon, why do I love you, buddy. All right. Let me finish this here. We're working on it. Boy, it's not hitting as hard as it was the other night. Man. By the way, these donations, they go towards Jackson. Jackson, my difficult dog. I want to get Jackson done. We got Brucey, the one-eyed wonder dog, which has been universally acclaimed. But I'm going to do my difficult dog. I'm praying and I hope I get my difficult dog done for Christmas of next year. So I'll have a second children's book. I'm very pleased. Kevin Clark really likes. Okay, see now, here's the problem. Now I'm gonna talk. Kevin, you are a guitar player. You're a super fan. I get it, and I don't want to insult you in any way, and I don't want to feel bad. It's opinions, right? I just don't listen to these last records that much. I just don't. I mean, I have to be honest with myself. So these 4 and 5 will add the way up. I just don't listen to them that much. And I don't know why. It just doesn't have the epic song grandeur. So let's go into the ones that I do listen. So now we're talking about the next tier of albums. I'm going to put these 3 in the middle tier. And I hate to do that because there's moments, right? So let's talk about each one individually. First Circle is amazing. And the song First Circle, right? This is a great album. But as far as all of them go, all of them. Oh, did you? You should stop. You should promote the shows after you put in my name in the thank yous. Yeah. You know that I got in trouble with my priest for putting Let's Go Brandon. I should have put it Let's Go Brandon. See, that's the thing. I'll change it up next time. Then maybe I'll sneak out of the priest criticism. My priest, I gave him a copy of it and he loved it. And he said, except for the Let's Go Brandon in the introduction. Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, it's a dangerous thing we're doing here, but we're 2 sidecars in and we're dangerous. We're playing dangerous. We're on the edge. Okay, good point. Okay, Let's Go Brandon. I'll do it like this. Let's Go Brandon. Assuming that you're going to be a benefactor. Because Let's Go Brandon, just so you know, I know he likes to pay to get lawyers to drink, and he's very good at that. But I will say that if it wasn't for Let's Go Brandon, and let's be honest, Patrick Finnegan, Finn Pat, those 2 people made Brucey the One-Eyed Wonder Dog happen. And as much degeneracy as we're talking here, it's a blessing to have you 2 in my life, and I'm blessed. And you made a good thing. I'm very happy with Brucey. It's one of those things like God is looking after me and giving me gifts to do something like that. And I mean, it's an opportunity, and we have to do our best. And I don't know if you heard, but I've self-funded the coloring book. The coloring book here. See, check it out. Brucey, the One-Eyed Wonder Book coloring book. Same content, but it's in black and white and soft cover. And I also have also self-funded the character generation for My Difficult Dog for Jackson. So that's coming up, but I'm going to need help getting it, the artist paid for that. So, yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah. Well, it's not all of them actually in our town. And Brandon, you know our town, right? I can say you're marginally Catholic. Lady of Lords is where I talk. And Father, and I will say that that priest is very liberal, very on the progressive side, but he puts his money where his mouth is. He goes and he does it. He doesn't just talk. He does it. Now, my church, which is Prince of Peace, is very conservative. And then you've got St. Paul's, which is kind of in the middle ground that kind of has the huddled masses. So, all right. So I'm going to put First Circle just because is in the middle of the pack, because First Circle is a great song, but the album as a whole isn't quite as strong as some of these others. I can't listen. I mean, I listen to it, but it's like I get bored in the middle of it. There's great songs and there's okay songs. Same thing with this album, Pat Metheny Group, the first one. There's some great ones, San Lorenzo, Phase Dance, Jocko. Those are great. But then the end of the album, it's short. This is very good. I'd put this at the top of the middle. And then this one, see, I hate to put this in the middle. These are all so great. I listen to these. Yeah, I listen to these. So I'm not dissing this album. I listen to this album a lot. I hate to put it in any kind of middle, but we're talking about ordering it in a way that you would buy it if I was going to recommend what order to buy a Pat Metheny set. And this album, I just prefer to this album. This has got Danny Gottlieb, of course, connection to Gosney. But when I was a kid, I listened to this one. This one is better produced and has great songs on it. So it's hard for me to pick. But if I was to pick between the two, I'd go with Travels. So this has got to be middle of the pack live album. And then this one. So we've got our middle of the pack, right? Let me finish off your drink here. See, Brandon's got his own little conversation going. I can't reveal confidences, So you reveal what you want in the chat. I'll just drink. All right. I'm very happy. Don't remember the last Daytona church you were in? Come to Prince of Peace. You come to Daytona, I'll take you to Prince of Peace. All right. So what's the chat say? Because I think we made the deal pretty clear. It was $100 or $200, right? Not 100. Because we're 100 away from Sidecar 3, I think. What's the chat say? Okay. Now I'm feeling it. What we're going to talk about. Jeez. Okay, see Danielle's my mentoree, and she's wonderful. 2, this is 2. I don't believe this is 2. Retain the Internet Council. Lord of the Ring. Yeah, see, Legal-Minded Friends. See, she's actually, this is a very good woman. Legal-Minded Friends, Karen Cole, she does Bible studies online. And you sinners out there, and I'm looking at you, if you want to get some God in your life, go to Legal-Minded Friends, Karen Cole. She's got a channel where she does Bible studies on Sunday. To me, what are you talking about? You want me to drink? It's got to go to, and I'm telling you that the donations here are supporting my books. And I will tell you, okay, the deal is, all right, hold on. What was the deal? The deal is one more sidecar, $100 more. And I want to tell you, what was I going to tell you? Something else. I better write it down. Hold on a second. Let me think about it. What was it? I was going to do, okay, show. Okay, now let's talk law. Okay, so have we covered our Pat Metheny Group stuff? So that was the topic for tonight. Boy, it's 9:16. Okay, we're doing good. We covered, that was pretty efficient. So we pretty much covered Pat Metheny Group in our first hour, right? Okay, and anything now is just bonus plan, right? How about Gosney working out to get super lawyers involved in a case, right? Do you know what I'm talking about? I tell you. See, there's a lot of grand strategy you don't even know about. So I really thank you. And for the guys here, Kevin especially, and Red, fellow Pat Metheny Group fans. Have you ever seen this one? Have you ever seen this one here? Pat Metheny Group in concert. Look at the track listing on this one. How great is that? Okay. New topic. Does the sidecar cost me 200, or does it result? I think it's 2. It has to result in me getting the 200. I don't want you. If I could get the 200, it wouldn't cost you anything. Come on, folks. Don't lean on Brandon. You guys can contribute here. And how best to, let's see, donate to new book. Let's go through. Yes, there's actually a donation button on the website. I'm going to show you some more. So let's promote a little bit, and I'll go get you. I want to show you some other stuff law-wise, and you guys can work out if we're going to get to a third sidecar tonight. But let me show you some stuff. I've got four hardcover prepared. I got a deal. Danielle, are you still there? Danielle, do you have a hardcover prepare with the new cover? Do you have a hardcover with this here? I don't know. So I've got 4 of these left, and I've got 5 of these left. These are hardcover Ideas and Answers in Law, 2nd edition. White Girl Wasted. So Zach here. So White Girl Wasted, so that's 20. All right, let's see. Jeez, this is ridiculous. We're fourth cycle, we're in negotiations. Okay, so given that Zach has kicked in $20, Danielle, okay. Here's the question, Danielle, and I'm gonna Brandon's got a full set of everything hardcover because he's such a benefactor and a good guy. But here's the deal, Brandon. If you want to see me third sidecar, here's the counter offer. Go and buy a hardcover prepare for Danielle. So you buy it. I will send this copy to Danielle. See, it's got the new cover and it's got some edits because her copy that she's got is all dog-eared. What do you think, Danielle? What do you think about that deal? Right? Isn't that true? I don't think that you have this version, this hardcover, this color, this set, and it's nice like that. So just go get this. There's only 4 left, and I kind of want Danielle to have one. I don't have the, yes, see, Danielle says she does not have the new cover. So that's fair. Given that Zach has already contributed here, see there, and he wants to see Ghazni get White Guard Wested, and you've got, this is good negotiation. You're talking about counter offer. I think you're going to earn your keep. You're going to see Ghazni get a third sidecar. You're going to get Zach is helping out with you. You've got Danielle here, who's in the chat, who's a lovely lady. What is this? If we get forced, you play us out the stream. No, here's the deal. Get Danielle. You go buy a hardcover prepare. These are 85, so it works out because Zach gave 20 just now, so this is 85. That'll work out. I'll give this to Danielle. If you and Zach wants to see Danielle happy too. So that's my counter offer. I think that's pretty good. No. We're almost there. All Brandon has to do, or anybody, it doesn't have to be Brandon, it can be anybody, buy Danielle this hardcover. Because Danielle has got, you should see her book. She's got that book, and she's got a dog-eared, and she's got all these little notes and stuff, right? Tell them about it. So yeah, so if you get that book, so if I go buy the book, yes, Just Joy. See, this is the thing. See, Brandon just wants to see me drink. I'd rather you do it, Just Joy, because then I won't have to do the third sidecar. How's that? Oh, everybody wants to book. Well, I'll tell you what, if you guys want to buy Danielle an Ideas and Answers in Law hardcover, you can do that too. And I'll tell you what, I'll even make a good deal. I owe you one more. Let me see. What was the deal? Jeez. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Let me show you. Where are we exactly? I don't. Let me check. Let me just see where we are on this world of craziness we're in. Yeah, I think I'm about ready to hit it if we're not gonna do. I do have where are we? Oh, this is jeez, I don't want I hate doing that. I did this actually the last stream that I did, which was oh, by the way, I gotta tell you, you guys need to go and check out the stream I did, The Catholic and the Atheist Walk into a Bar. I think that was a really good stream. If you want to hear me talking faith, go back to that stream and watch it. I think that was a really good one. Yeah, help. Don't rely on Brandon. Just the first person to do it. Here, doing the sidecar relax. Well, the question now is, do you want 3 or 4? Because if Just Joy buys prepare, then I'll go another 100 and we'll do a 4th one. So okay, I know you guys are gonna work it out. So I know we're gonna at least do one star. So here's what you do. You see, you take this, you take that, and you fill her up like that. You see there? See how that works? This is very degenerate. No, just joy. Just go to stevegosney.com and buy the book. I'll show you how to do it. Did I show you, Brandon? Did I show you the where are we? Okay. Hold on a second, all right? Hold on. I want to get something else. All right. I'm going to show you why lawyers drink. This is what I've been doing at work. Now, part of it too is, I write a lot of books, but I write because I want to think. Now we're on Friday, so we're not thinking, we're drinking. So cheers to you. I got this is number. Wait a second, that's 3. Have we agreed to do 3 yet? The mason jar is not going to get finished. That's way too much. That's like 10. But I'm preparing for the death penalty or oral arguments. And how do you do that? Okay, so what I've done is I've taken every U.S. Supreme Court case, death penalty designs. See, this is my new book. This is my book that I'm working on, which is SCOTUS Death Penalty Case Law Review in chronological order, full case listings, last revision today, right? Today, starting with Furman v. Georgia, 1972, and listing every case involving the death penalty. Okay, every case involving the death penalty with a summary of what each one holds in chronological order all the way up to the present. 2020, Ramos versus Louisiana, Tibbs. So this is a complete rundown of every Supreme Court case involving the death penalty of any kind of significance. All right. So this is just the summary. So this gives me an outline of cases. And look, it's like multi-pages. And then what I'm going to do is then I've got every one of these cases will be printed out. See there, printed out. And then I'm going to have to read these sons of bitches in full. Look at this thing. This is a beast. This is Furman v. Georgia. Look at that. I got to read this front to back. Ugh. You wonder why lawyers drink? So, oh, Lord of the Ree, you bought the book. Okay, so I guess you bought the book. Lord of the Ree came through. That's sidecar 3. God bless you, Lord of the Ree. He's my buddy, man. Now, Lord of the Ree, is that for Danielle? I know Danielle, but I got to take care of you. You're my buddy. So is that just Lord of the Ree, just to make sure you bought the book, but I'm going to send that to Danielle, or do you want that? So So this is what I'm doing between now and oral arguments before the Florida Supreme Court, because I got to get up to speed on the death penalty, right? And I will tell you, reading the U.S. Supreme Court cases after going through all of these things, see, I'm starting to curse. I am getting a little buzzed, right? So, Brandon, you got to be careful this, all right? Because Gosney gets honest and curses. And I will say that people think I'm this good guy. Cursing was a major fallacy, a major fault to me. And Danielle, you know about Derek, my buddy Derek, who's my love Derek. He's such a beautiful person, and his daughter I take care of. You know, her whole life as she was upbringing, Derek asked me to look after his daughter, who was 3 when he passed away. And it's hard for me to talk about. She's now a senior in college at Benedictine College. What did Derek say? Now I've lost it. Jeez. So Derek is a wonderful man. And he was great. But anyway, let's see. I was talking about the death penalty. Florida's death penalty scheme is so screwed up. I'm reading these cases. Florida is so out there. We are so not in congruence with the world, in the country. We're just out on a limb. Why are we so okay? And we're conservative folks, or most of us, a lot of us here. I'm a conservative kind of guy. Why is the death penalty so important? Why does this drive our judicial appointments? Does that really think about all the stuff the Supreme Court of the United States is deciding right now? Do I care about the death penalty? Is that really make or break? Is that the litmus test for our justices? Really? That's the most important thing confronting our country. So they can vote any way they want as long as they support the death penalty. The death penalty is, and there's the hundreds. I mean, you know how many cases there are? There's like 169 cases since 1972 on the death penalty. Why are we so fixated? And all the effort and the time and the effort goes into this. And here Florida's out there. We got to push the death penalty. If we killed everybody on death row in every state, it wouldn't make a hill of beans difference to justice or criminal justice in this country. And if everybody got converted to a life sentence, again, it wouldn't make a hill of beans difference. Yet it's warping our judiciary and our justices. It's sucking the time from our courts. The life sentence is a death penalty anyways, right? That's right. I mean, they're going to come out of this prison in a box. And he says, just less expensive. And it's less expensive. It's less expensive to put somebody in life in prison without parole. So, I don't know. I've got death penalty debates out there, right? This is over here. This is number 3. I'm just depending. I haven't checked anything. I'm assuming, because I know my chat and I know you guys are good people. So I know you've done what you said. And I will send Danielle, you got another hardcover prepare. How about that? Yeah, angry. We're not an angry drunk. I'm not angry. I'm not angry yet. You know the phases of Gosney, right? Should I check? I think Just Joy did buy a book. Let me see. Oh, I don't know. I don't have it listed. What was the deal here? I don't think I've got a book bought. Book bought. I don't know. Yes. Oh, Zach. So you read Death Penalty Debates? It was great. Thank you. Did you get it on audiobook or Audible or yeah, I don't see a book sale on the hardcover. Just Joy. Yeah, get the idea here was we're going to get Danielle a prepare hardcover, and I don't see that. Give, Send, Go. Do I have a Give, Send, Go? Okay, yeah, that's for. All right, hold on, you guys. I'm going to start losing it. See, this is the problem. You guys are. It's all this complication. Oh, okay. She gave the Give, Send, Go. That's sweet. Thank you very much. Yeah, so Give, Send, Go has got the difficult dog. We'll start fundraising in full once I get the art back and the character development for my difficult dog. We'll do that. All right. So what else are we talking about? Yeah. So what I'm doing is, see, I've printed out. This is the first set of cases that I got to read. So I've already gone through and summarized every case and the major holdings in every death penalty case that the U.S. Supreme Court has done since 1972. And then I'm going to print out each case and read them in full, front to back. No, this is only we're at 3, right? 4 has not been confirmed. We're just talking. In fact, I'm getting ready to shut down. 3 is probably too much. So then I've printed them all out and I've got to read those. And this is just the beginning. This is only like 6 or 7 cases. So I've got to read piles of cases between now and the oral argument. And then what I'm doing is I'm taking those and and putting them into what I call death penalty designs. Did I show you the cover art for death penalty designs? Let me show you this. This is kind of cool. Now we're just talking. We're just having fun at this point. So any questions, you just holler, all right? Where's death penalty designs? It's around here somewhere. Nope, not there. Darn it. Penalty debates. Shoot, I was going to show you the cover art. I've done it. I've got it. I've got it done. It's at work. Maybe there. Maybe that's where it is. Hold on. Thanks, guys, for sitting around. I know we're just hanging at this point. Boy, this is crazy. Where is it? I can't find it. I've got the cover art already done. All right, what did I miss? All right. See, Brandon's just got me on the hook again, doesn't he? This is good, though. These sidecars are really good. So Brandon kicked in another 100. Oh, okay. Let's all give Brandon a prayer. His wife has COVID. Thank you very much. You're kind. I'm an emailer, though. Everybody says, what's this here? Oh, I got to tell you something else. Okay, see there? You hang long enough and you're going to get more information out of Gosney, especially when I'm well oiled. It's a pain in the rear dealing with the U.S. Supreme Court or dealing with any court. Everybody's got their own set of rules. Well, okay, if anybody has ideas and answers in law, right? Pull out our ideas and answers in law. And those people who have ideas and answers in law can flip to, here it is. Arguments against charging inmates for their incarceration. You see there? Page 171. Got that? That case, I've just done a petition for writ of certiorari on that case to the United States Supreme Court. So it should show up on the docket. In fact, I'm going to search right now. Now that you guys are here, I'm going to see if it's on the docket. We haven't. You got to send them 10 copies of the paper copies, which is ridiculous. Why do you have to send them paper copies? You see if there's any movement on this. So they may not docket it until I send them the paper. but we filed it this week. So we filed that case this week. It's the Wells case. So yes, let's all give Brandon a prayer for the wife. Um, COVID is, it's ridiculous, but it is serious. It can be serious. So God bless you, and let's all give a prayer. Thank you for the sidecar. I don't know. Do I owe a fourth? I don't know. Well, I'm kind of running out of topics. I'm just showing you what we have to deal with, and I will tell here. Let me give you this too. This is such a rambling. This is the worst stream I think I've ever done. Ugh, sorry, guys. I got the Pat Metheny Group stuff, but I wanted to tell you another thing about it. The death penalty. This stupid death penalty. So I'm doing this. I'm reading these things. I'm summarizing these cases. And then what I'm doing is I'm creating a training manual for our capital appellate attorneys. That's best stream ever yet. Free. No, your best stream was the one I had to actually make private for members only because of you. So good for you. Yeah, so good. We're just hanging out. This is a fun night, right? Okay, so let me do a little more and then we can. I'm trusting y'all that you're doing what you're saying. I want Danielle to have that book. Hope you bought that book for Danielle. So this is assuming that, what is it? Just Joy got the Danielle book? I don't know. Oh, the island poster. Okay, so yeah, this is what I kind of want to talk about. So I have to prioritize the death penalty case. So I've got death penalty debates, which is the public policy debates. I've got death penalty designs, which is the training manual for capital appellate lawyers. But that's really, I'm training myself as I create this book. So I will create a book and it's going to be like $250 a copy because it's going to be an academic test book directed at about 40 people in the state of Florida to explain to them why the death penalty is unconstitutional in Florida and how to argue it in the Florida Supreme Court and the U.S. Supreme Court. That's my challenge, and that's what I'm trying to create. And I'm going to create it. I'm working on it. And I'm prioritizing that. So that's got front burner. My island over here, my fantasy novel has gotten sidelined. And this stupid death penalty stuff has gotten. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about, Derek. This death penalty stuff has sidelined my creativity and it sucked the creativity out. I don't want to do anything at all. I don't even want to do this, but I have to do it. So I'm forcing myself to do it. And it's really sucking my creative energies. So I got to get through it. I got to force through it to get it done so that I can have it and I'll know it and I'll be the expert on this area. But it's very hard. And so Miss K Grift. Okay, good to see you. How are you doing? You're wonderful. So here's sidecar 4. Brandon, you're right. We need to be pro-life beginning to end and in the middle. When death is the answer, it answers everything. And once you make that thing, it answers the question, then it's always there. So here's the thing. I'm going to share with you my friend Derek Brooks. And I'll show you in Prepare Derek's picture and what he said about my cursing. So if I forget this, because my brain is wandering, it just remind me that it's about the cursing and what Derek said about my cursing. So here's Derek and Anna when Anna was a little baby. Anna's now she's now a senior in college. And Derek was one of my closest friends. I love Derek. And so Derek, I curse like a sailor, and people think like, oh, it's so good. No, curse like a sailor. Okay, Grant, I'll accommodate this wish. This is a good question. I will do that. So Derek, you would say I curse, and Derek was such a good Catholic man. He was much better than all of us, and only the good die young. And Derek died very young and was a very good man. And so I remember one time I was cursing up a storm, as alcohol tends to break down my barriers. And he says, you know, Steve, he says, I love you like a brother. And, you really shouldn't curse so much. He had a way of making us all better. So let's cheers to Derek. You'd hate that. Fuck. Oh, me. This is terrible. God bless Derek. Yes. But his daughter is still around, and she's perfect and beautiful, and I love her. And he asked me to take care of her. Okay. It's in the, I think some of this is in the book, but anyway. So if people want to see it, so take a look at some of these cases. So this is what I've been doing at work, and it's gonna fortify death penalty designs. And this is my life for the next few months until I have to orally argue this. I'm sorry. I get emotional anytime I talk about Derek. It's only Derek. It's something about Derek. He was so beautiful. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing and summarizing. It's pretty cool, actually. This is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Okay. Furman v. Georgia. See, this is the landmark case striking the death penalty. So in 72, and if you guys are old, you might remember that. It struck the death penalty in all cases, right? Then Gregg v. Georgia at 76, 4 years later, there was this was a re-implementation of the death penalty. So after this, and the basis of this, let me explain. And this is a good example. I'll explain this more in depth at some other time, but let me give you a little taste of what this is about. The reason that Furman v. Georgia exists and the reason that they struck all the death penalties was because it was arbitrary. It struck like lightning. You never knew when the death penalty would strike. So the problem with the death penalty, it was irrational. It was irrationally arbitrary, meaning some would get convicted, some were not. Now, this was tied up in a lot of racial stuff. So if you're black, you got the death penalty, and if you're white, you didn't. So it was used, but because the prosecutors would be arbitrary and you couldn't sort them out, that was why they were struck. And that's reasonable, I think. That is a very correct and coherent view. When the state has the death penalty, don't you think it should be rational? Don't you think it should be consistently applied? That equal protection should apply? Okay, let's get into the death penalty. Let's talk law. Let's talk death penalty designs, not death penalty debates about whether it's good policy. Let's talk about the law. I'm going to do a long stream on this someday about this, but you're going to get a little preview here. So I think that's a very coherent and reasonable and rational decision by the U.S. Supreme Court that you need to have a system that can distinguish rationally between those that get the death penalty and those that do not. All right? Are we all on board on that? Are we agreement? That's Furman v. Georgia. Okay. So the states then responded by said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to strip it out and say, okay, we're going to have a bunch of aggravators. So if the aggravators exist, so you've got a panoply of first-degree murder, and amongst those, you have some first-degree murders that are not eligible for the death penalty and some that are. So I'll throw out a scenario by which under that rationale, under that legal framework, I would say the death penalty would be rational. Let's just make one aggravator, and that is you killed more than one person in your crime spree. So you committed first-degree murder and you did it on two people. All right. So death penalty not available for one murder, first-degree murder, but if you've got two first-degree murders, that's an aggravator. That's it. Okay. That is rational because now when I have a first-degree murder case before me, I can distinguish. Or let's say killing a child killing somebody under 12, a teenager or somebody that's a preteen. If you're preteen, you kill a preteen, that's an aggravator. Killing preteens means you get the death penalty. If you don't kill a preteen, if you kill an adult, life in prison without parole. All right. That's an aggravator that I can understand. So you have you've got one person that kills an adult and one person that kills a child under 12. The person that kills a child under 12, that's an aggravator. That person qualifies for the death penalty. All right, you get it? So we have aggravators that distinguish between regular first-degree murder and first-degree murder punishable by death. Okay, so death penalty debates is the public policy argument. Now I'm talking death penalty designs, which is the legal argument against the death penalty in Florida. All right? I'm working on this. This is what I'm working on right now. And it sucks. Let me have a drink. Let's go, Brandon. I think this is number 4. So this is, I'm caught up here, right? After this one. I think so. But I'm giving you a preview of what I'm working on at work, and you will see the result of this in my next book, hopefully, right? Because this had to get put in front of my fantasy novels, sadly, disappointingly, and evilly. And this is another cost of the death penalties. Now Gosney's working on stupid death penalty book rather than a wonderful, incredible fantasy novel. All right. So do we understand the death penalty scenario? So you've got to have some aggravators. I've got, like, here I am, defense attorney or a prosecutor or whoever, and I've got a bunch of first-degree murder cases. Some qualify and some do not. That's what has to happen. It can't be irrational. It can't be irrational. Yeah, this is all I've been doing. You got to say, this is all I've been doing. This is why I'm drinking. And this is, thank you for dulling the pain of this stupid job. All right, so that's Furman. Yeah, and can we agree on that? Is the law? Can we agree on that? Can we understand what the coherence is, what the rational thought is behind that? Everything flows from that. If you understand that, then all of these cases, now there's a lot of there's a lot of issues and a lot of complicated rabbit holes we can go down. But that's the core. That's the core of the legal challenge to Florida's death penalty statute, is irrationality. Because here's what happened. After Furman, the states then developed a system by which aggravators were listed. Okay, double homicides, ones that are against children. We have a list of aggravators, and it was a limited list. And by using those aggravators, we could then distinguish between the regular first-degree murder and the ones that were punishable by death. And that is legal and constitutional under Furman. All right? This is the master class right now. You're not even paying for this. If I did this class in American law courses, you'd be paying $1,000. So here you're getting the preview of the class for free. All right. Basically, thank you, Brandon, because he's got me well enough oiled that I'm going to talk about. This is what I've been doing at work, is trying to understand and coherently explain this, because I'm going to have to do it in the Florida Supreme Court. So you have to distinguish. Now, what happens is, as crime develops, and in Florida, we just love the death penalty. We just can't wait to kill some more people. Somebody does something really bad, and then they add an aggravator. So, okay, well, so you got children and you got double homicides. But what about people that plan it out and are really cold and cruel? So it's not just somebody that does it at the spur of the moment. Somebody who plans it out and really thinks, okay, that should be qualifiers. That should be death penalty aggravator. So let's add that. It's called CCP, cold, calculating, and premeditated. CCP. Now let's say, well, what about somebody who torture kills, somebody who loves to torture somebody to death? Okay, that's called EHAC. Exceptionally heinous, atrocious, and cruel. So it's not just an execution killing, it's EHAC. It's exceptionally. So let's add that one. All right, that's death penalty qualified. And what you have now is you have a list of so many aggravators in Florida that every first degree murder qualifies. Every first degree murder qualifies for death. So now what you have is you have no distinction between regular first degree murder, not punishable by death, and first degree murder punishable by death. If you laid 20 cases in front of me that were all first degree murder charges and said, now pick which ones are death qualified and which ones are not, I would say all of them qualify, because based on the statutory list of aggravators that explain, we call it aggravator creep. The aggravators have expanded to the point that every case qualifies for the death penalty. So then it's arbitrary again. You don't have there's no distinction there. So it's unconstitutional under Furman. That's where we are in Florida. Slidey Pie, you got the book? The pages are thick. What do you mean? This is good quality printing. You buy it from me. I will say I've got it on Amazon, on audiobook and ebook. That's debates. I'm working on death penalty designs, and what I'm explaining to you right now is part of death penalty designs. Death penalty debates is the public policy debate. So that's just whether it's good public policy. I'm talking about whether it's constitutional, whether it's legal, and that's a masterwork. And my mission in life from here until I retire, which is 10 more years of life in the public defender's office, if God wills it, I will be fighting the death penalty in a legal forum. And I'm trying to explain to you why it's unconstitutional under current frameworks. And so the Florida Supreme Court, all of those people are appointed because they love the death penalty. So I will be speaking to a hostile crowd, and they will affirm every case that I go before them. So I will go up and orally argue these things before the Florida Supreme Court, and they will laugh in my face and tell me I'm not listening to them and that I am out of touch. And I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not following precedent. And they will abuse me and laugh at me and everything else. But I am not targeting the Florida Supreme Court. I am targeting the United States Supreme Court. And that's what this book is intended to do. And that is going to be the role of me and my office and Florida's public defenders throughout, God bless them, is to fight this. And so I am developing my brief I just did, which is the Fletcher case, which I'm going to be arguing coming up sometime in the middle of the year for the Florida Supreme Court. I've drafted this and attacked this Florida statute. And it's got worse because now they've added to that. They've added to the unconstitutional statute that exists currently the non-unanimous jury verdict of 8-4, as well as the non-capital murder case, which directly conflicts with the Kennedy case. So they're making it more and more easy to kill from the state. And the only people that really care about the death penalty are the politicians and the state. Anybody who's involved in it, who's rational, who deals with it, knows it's a stupid deal. It's not good public policy. It's a waste of resources. It's irrational. But Florida is just in love with it. And I don't get it, except that Florida, well, maybe I do. Florida we get the least common denominator out of people. We don't get the best out of people. Right, Hidalgo, yes. Okay, let me see if I can find Hidalgo here. Check it out. Look at that. Hidalgo v. Arizona. This is right on point. See, look at there. Hidalgo, Crow-Minion has got it. Number one, whether Arizona's capital sentencing scheme, which includes so many aggravating circumstances that virtually every defendant convicted of first-degree murder is eligible for death, violates the Eighth Amendment. See that? Crow-Minion. See that we got edge. This is the Gosney chat, man. You guys are freaking rocking it. You see there? So yes, we want to argue Hidalgo versus Arizona in Florida and get Florida's death penalty statute struck. And if that happens, okay, what's the cost? What's the cost? Okay, so we get 300 people on death row, 20,000 people on life in prison without parole. So instead of 20,000 people on life in prison without parole, you get 20,300. Big deal. Yeah, you got it right. You got it. This is unexpected, but this is what I've been doing all day, every day at work. Today I finished this outline, which is summary of every U.S. Supreme Court case involving the death penalty since 1972. Now I'm going to read every case involving the death penalty since 1972. And then, so what it's going to be is it's a training manual for appellate death penalty capital qualified appellate attorneys. So there will be a general overview of the death penalty statute, the death penalty concept of how it works in Florida. There will be a grand summary of every case. And I've got to cherry pick this. I got to go through here and not just print out each one, but give a summary of the most significant ones and summarize it, each one, and say, for example, like, death penalty not eligible for those under 18, and, give a concept there. And then I'm going to go through and talk about each argument of why Florida's statute is constitutionally deficient. So that's what I've been doing, and that's what I will be doing. And it sucks because I'm not creative. I'm looking back. I just checked my I don't see a hardback for. I want to get a hardback for Prepare for Danielle. Somebody go buy a death or a Prepare for Danielle hardback. She needs that. So okay, I'm gonna get going here. I feel like you're going to make your mark on this, Steve. I hope so. I've got 10 years to do it. And by the way, pray for me. I've applied for the division chief position. So I'm hoping to be the division chief for our appellate office in March or April. So I've applied for our division chief, which is the division commander for our office in supervisor. So hopefully that'll work. If not, I'm happy where I am. It's okay. So this is a good question. New attorney, any advice for getting over courtroom fear? Currently, law clerk goes for. Okay, you're currently okay? Winston, new advice for getting over courtroom fear. All right. First of all, there's a couple tricks. One that I never used, but I know it's told, is imagine that everybody in the courtroom is naked. So if you do that. The other is I also talk to one person. This is what I do. And it's always the court reporter. So I talk to the court reporter directly. And I make all my arguments like it's a conversation between me and them. Now, pick somebody. Maybe it's the judge, the court reporter, the clerk, a juror, whoever you say, you pick somebody and you talk to them like one-on-one and have a conversation. And just get up there and do it. Prepare, but know your stuff, know your case. And once you know your case and you know what's involved, you know the law, you know the facts, just go there and talk to somebody about it. Pick somebody and don't look at a group. Think of it as a conversation between you and them, and everybody else is just watching the conversation. Oh, and Brandon, $100 for that? For what's that? Thank you very much, Brandon. Isn't Brandon a nice guy? I know, Brandon's gotten some crap lately, unfairly. Brandon is a great man. He has been a big supporter. Thank you. Pray for me and pray for my division chief position, right? There's no expectations. I'm humble and I don't expect it. I'm in a perfect position for me. Supervising attorneys, it's like herding cats. Yeah, for Daniel, I feel like we're losing track. I know we are, and you guys are in the chat. I don't know. I'm just. Let me check one more time. I'll see because I like Brand. I know that nobody's bought a hardcover. Okay, Karen. Check out Karen for your biblical studies there. Yeah, MG Law, you got it. You know, us streamers know. This is number 4. I think I'm about done. Is there any other questions? I think we've gotten it. So we have this has been a lot of work, and I've been needing to do this for my capital cases to really get on top of them, and because they are not friendly up there in the Florida Supreme Court. They don't like me. They don't want me to be arguing this, and they're going to give me a hard time. Let me explain one more thing, what they're going to give me. How do I say this? Oh my God. Oh my goodness. You think so, MG? I don't know, MG. I don't know. I think I'm close to being done. I think Brandon knocked me out at 6, and I hope we don't get there tonight. I'm almost done. We're almost done. I just want to get a couple more things said because this is, I don't know if this is the best stream. I'm just talking. We're Friday night. We're spending some time together. Isn't this wonderful to have friends? To hell with the media and the news and all these talking heads. Oh, Brandon, if you're still there, I wanted to show you one more thing. I don't know if I showed you this. I want to show you one more thing. I probably showed it to you already, but I'm going to show it to you again if not. Because this is important. I want you to know I love my innocent clients are very important to me. And the most innocent person I've ever presented is currently on the dock. So I want to show you this first of all. You see this? Are you seeing that? Where's the can you read that? I want to show you one more thing. Check this out. Did you see that? How about that? I think it's pretty cool. Anyways, I got to spend about 2 hours with our client and Mr. Baez. And I'm very happy. It's very good. And this is part of Gosney's grand strategy. So I think we're good. Let me see. Did we talk? Let's see. Death penalty designs. There's one more thing. Death penalty. Oh, I was going to tell you one more thing. This is something else I'm working on. Ugh. No, I guess I can't talk about that. One of the reasons I want to be a supervisor. Oh my God. Is there any time that we can be actually free? All the problems that I have are because I get overruled. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just. I don't know. Okay, Brandon, shut her down. I'm going to shut her down. We'll save this for another day. I'm going to do a stream on the death penalty debate, and I'm gonna shut it down now. All right. Thank you very much to all of my wonderful people that were here and supported me. Matt himself, man, good job. Brandon, good job. Len, all my people that have donated. You guys are wonderful, and I'll do it again soon. I've also got a how to write a book coming up, which is going to be how to publish the book, how to self-publish. So I've got a couple things I need to add to that. So I'm working on that. I'm thinking about it. Yes. So the issue is Jose Baez is taking over the Mendez case. So thank you very much. And God bless you. And thank you. Oh, Zach, thank you very much. And thank you for the rewatch crew. You guys have nailed me tonight. 4 sidecars I can handle. I still win. It's not 6. I haven't been knocked out. I still get the card. So we'll do it again some other night. God bless you all. Thank you for the help, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.